Hello, it's me again. Hopefully you've already watched my video about making a Bandlab account and about following me, so that I know that you are interested and and that I will have invited you to collaborate, and you will have accepted in the notification section under invites and the black bell, and then you will find in your music folder, which is the bottom right option, the Junkyard Rocket, which is the project we're working on together. So if I select that, this video is just about basically how to record it and how to set up your track and stuff. I thought it would split it in half just to make it slightly easier. I think I mentioned already about choosing the top version of this. I guess the top of the tree doesn't really matter, but I think it's probably the best option. Then hit open, and it's mix editor that you want, not video mix. For some reason my phone is really slow, and sometimes I have to ask it twice, so I'm just going to go back and do that again. Mix editor, hopefully it'll work this time. Nope. Really fantastic. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm not very patient, turns out. Yeah, anyway, so there you go. You can see all the tracks that I've already made, and by touching the microphone icon on the far left, I'm selecting that track to record on. I don't really want you to record over any of the stuff I've already done. It's not really the idea, although it wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd probably be better than what I've done. So instead of choosing one of these microphones, I want you to choose the plus, the white plus in the black circle, just below the bottom track. And you can then make a new track. From this list of options that pops up, I want to choose a second one down, voice, mic, record any sound. So I'll select that. And we have a brand new track to record on. I would really like you to name your track, so I'm going to show you how to do that. On the bottom left of the picture, there are 3 lines with 3 dots in them, and if I press on that, it goes green, and the information for your track pops up on the screen. To the right of where it says track 6, there are 3 white dots, and if I touch on them, it gives me a few options for this particular track, the one that I've just made. I want to rename it. You write your name in there, so I guess I'll write Billy, since that is my name. But usually write your own name, unless your name is Billy as well. I don't think I've invited any other Billys. I'm funny like that. I like to be the only one. Okay, I don't know why I'm rabbiting on, sorry. Right, there we go. I've named it Billy, so I know it's mine. Then I'm just going to press that same little icon on the bottom left, the 3 lines with the 3 dots. It'll go white again. I'm no longer on that screen. And I'm almost ready to go. What I must do though is I must turn on the metronome. So on the bottom right hand side of the screen there's a little icon that looks like an old-fashioned metronome, if you're familiar with that. It's white and I want it to be green for go. So just make sure it's green, and if it's not, touching it so it goes green. That way you'll get a metronome click track all the way through while you're recording, and that will help you to stay in time with the beats. It'll also give you 4 beats of counting. So what you should hear when you hit the big red button is you should hear 4 beats of a click, and then you should hear me counting to 4, which by all means join in with that part if you like, and then after I've counted to 4 you should start playing. I'm just going to press record so you can kind of hear what happens. I'm not actually going to record anything just now. So yeah, this is what should happen. We should hear 4 beats click, then me counting in for 4, and then you should start playing. You'll hear all the other instruments start doing the click thing at the start. Let's count in, and then that's where you start playing. I hope that makes sense. Try to think what else you need to do. It might be that you've messed up. Gosh, it took me so many times to get it right. There's an undo function, which is quite useful, or if that's not quite what you wanted, sometimes I don't know why, but that's not what I'm looking for. Next to, oh, hang on, it still says track 6. I'm sure I renamed it. Didn't I rename it? Why did that not work? Did I do it again? There we go. Okay. Maybe I didn't do something. I bet you've like spotted it. You've been saying to the screen like, Billy, you didn't press OK. Anyway, looks like it's called Billy now. I was too busy being weird. So yeah, next to my name, there's a little downward arrow, a grey downward arrow. If I press that, it shows me all the other tracks again, takes me back to the sort of overall mix screen. And you can see my new track that I've just made is this orange one at the bottom. you can move along the timeline of the track by just scrolling to the right or to the left. So if you've done like the whole thing, but you've just made a little mistake, I don't know, somewhere towards the end, it's really annoying, you don't want to do it all again, you can actually sort of try and listen to what you've played and figure out where the mistake happens, and you can just line up the white line with where you want to start. It's usually a good idea to start in a rest, and just makes it a cleaner start, but find a bit of silence where there are no wave lines, up and down the way lines, and then just hit record again, and you'll record over what you've done. Always make sure before you start that the metronome is green, not white. Toggles back and forth when you press it. Make sure that you've selected your own track. It's so annoying when you get halfway through and you realise you've recorded it in the wrong place because it was still on somebody else's track. That will be increasingly important as people are recording on here, because if you record over someone else's track, they'll be sad. So make sure it's the one you made, and you should be good. Trying to think. Oh yeah, at the very top, see this red part here that I'm touching on it. That shows us we're in the kind of the screen for recording. There's a settings screen as well, which you don't really need unless you definitely don't want to change the tempo, because everyone else has recorded at 135 and it'll sound really weird if you record it at a different speed, so don't change that. But you can turn up the click if you can't hear it. Maybe if you're playing drum kit and it's really loud, you might want a louder click. So that's quite useful. You can see I'm just moving up and down there. You can none of the rest of this is any use. Monitoring should be turned on. Well, maybe you don't want it on. Doesn't really matter. That monitoring basically means you can hear yourself as well, but you'll probably be able to hear yourself because you'll be playing some loud tin or drum or something. So it's up to you whether you have that on or off, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was something. I knew I came in here for a reason. Latency fix. See this one here? I'll go back again. Latency fix. That's if you've played it and it sounds a bit kind of a bit behind the beat, and it wasn't you, like you weren't just being rubbish, you were sure you played it right, but it sounds really out of time. It might be that there's what's called latency, which is like a little delay that comes from, I don't know, maybe your phone being a bit slow or there being too many programs or anything. So you can press latency fix and just press start, and it should try and fix that for you. It does a little test thing. You've actually done it. Okay, I'm not going to do it now because I've got headphones plugged in and I don't want to hear it, but if you press on that, it should sort of help with any problems you're having with latency. I'll just press the back arrow. And yeah, this changing at the top of the screen here, if you want to record, it's best to be on this screen here where you can see what's going on. You can make sure that you're at the start or wherever it is you want to be. You can make sure you've selected the correct microphone for the track you've made, not somebody else's. Once you've done all this and you're happy with it, then just make sure you hit the save button, which annoyingly doesn't right up, but it's next to the settings. So we've got the screen for recording, a random fairly useless screen for writing things, settings, and then to the right of that is this cloud with the upwards arrow for sharing. You don't want to publish it, I don't think. In fact, I definitely don't want you to publish it. Just hit save,